Hey guys, I'm so excited to be starting this new YouTube channel for people that have chronic illness and for it to be a place of support. And I've been wanting to create this channel for a while, but I have a really hard time making videos. I don't often really like being in front of the camera. And so doing this is super new for me. But I wanted to start talking about different topics that we deal with having chronic illness and it to be a place of like refuge where people can come when they're feeling upset or sad and need some motivation or hope in their healing journey. So thanks so much for coming over to my channel and checking this video out. I think this first video that like I wanted to make is really about it's about depression and hope and holding on, because I know so many times in our journey, especially when you're in the beginning, it still brings up emotion for me because I really don't touch on these subjects ever. And is something that I truly keep locked deep inside, and I feel like God with me telling me to keep going and making this video. And I feel like these are reasons why I didn't make them, is because those feelings are so real. And I think it's important for people to really see that they're real for me too, because I do love to function off joy and happiness and positivity, and just kind of like focusing on the healing aspects of the journey and the positives and the healing foods and all this stuff that we can do to heal ourselves, right? Which is so amazing. But there's like a really strong reality to it as well, which is the pain we go through along healing. And to be honest, I think a lot of it is the pain that we felt in our initial journey of healing and what we went through in those moments and what we had to break through to get to where we are now. Because most people, chronic illness brings them to their knees of losing so much, because there is no answers in medical communities on both sides, on conventional and alternative, right? So when someone doesn't have any answers for their health and they're going to doctor to try to find answers, and they don't find any answers, and they just keep getting worse with their health, like maybe they're only fatigued right now, right? But then because they keep getting worse and they can't find any answers, then all of a sudden they can't get out of bed. Then all of a sudden it's harder to shower until the fatigue is so bad they literally are bedbound, right? And that's what happened to me, basically. So yeah, chronic illness brings you to your knees, because when you lose your health, you have nothing. So I think that because of what the soul goes through on a level like that, and every time you don't find an answer, every time you're let down again, every time you're told that you just need antidepressants, that you don't really have something physically wrong with you, it takes a I don't know how else to describe it, but it's like it takes something from the soul, honestly. And it's like another fracture to the soul. Anthony talks about soul fractures, and those are so real. But anyway, when we have enough soul fractures and we're suffering and we keep feeling that sense of loss, it wears us down as human beings. And so you get to this point of feeling very broken, very hopelessness, very sad and confused, and just like you just want to feel better. And that is the feeling of chronic illness. I mean, it is. I mean, you can go from being the most non-sick person to being the most joyful person and excited and person that exercised all the time, person that was always outside, you know, me, surfed, like, you could have done a million things, right? And then all of a sudden you get chronic illness and your life changes and you're like, who am I now? Like, you have to somehow make it through this cloud, this storm of confusion, and somehow find your way to the other side. And to be honest, I'm here to help you do that. Like, I'm here to help you find your way through all that shit and get through to the other side, because I honestly believe that, like, the medical medium community is so strong, and like, the people who have really healed from it and have really put the time and effort into choosing to heal and follow the information, we've seen a difference. We've seen our life turn around. We've beaten chronic illness. We've healed incurable diseases from doctors. Endometriosis is incurable. PCOS, there's no cure from. Chronic fatigue syndrome, no cure from, but I'm curing all of those. So yeah, I mean, you have to get through the brokenness to get through to the breakthrough, and you can do that, you know, and I did, and I'm here to tell you that you can too. And it's so powerful once you have the information, because that brokenness feeling, that emotion that you saw in me is real, and it is what I went through, but I'm so empowered now. And I just want you to get to that point too, and to realize and to know that, like, it's possible for you. Like, there's healing answers, and you just keep going, you know? And the problem is that when you don't have answers, and when all you have is to rely on is the medical system that we have today, known as Big Pharma, that just wants to feed you pills and just really not listen to you as a patient, and not empathize, right? I'm not calling doctors out on this level, because there are great people who are doctors. There are great doctors out there who became doctors because they want to help people. But what I'm talking about is people at the top of the top of the top that are watching over all these other people, and they're pulling the strings, and they're the ones that, truth be told, are wanting to keep people sick. They're the reasons that we don't have answers today, because virology, which is it's either virus or bacteria that's behind a chronic illness, right? But virology wasn't the last time I think it was funded, or it hasn't been funded since like the 1930s. So chronically ill is getting no help, and people are just getting sicker and sicker, and chronic illness is on the rise at every age. I've worked with clients from 14 to 65. So that just shows you what a broad range chronic illness is hitting at every age, you know? So I'm making these videos because I want people to know about medical medium information. I want them to know the truth about it. I want them to know that healing is possible. All of those incurable diseases that I listed, like endometriosis, PCOS, chronic fatigue syndrome, that I thought I was gonna live with forever. Well, PCOS and endometriosis, I've completely reversed and avoided surgery for both of those. So you tell me, like, the facts are there, you know? And so for all the naysayers, like, watch this video. And you really can't tell me nothing about negative stuff about medical medium, because it's real and it's true, and there's thousands, millions of people around the world now are healing from it. So anyway, I just wanted to reach people today who are feeling lost and lonely, because there is a way out, and you can heal. And I know that lost and lonely feeling, and I know that broken feeling that it brings, but you can heal and you can get better. And I feel like I can't stop saying that because it is such the truth. And with people unfortunately getting sicker in today's day and age, most people don't have this information. They don't have access to real, true healing answers, which is what medical mediums information is. I mean, 100%. I was bedridden, stuck on Mattress Island. It took me years to get my life back, just to be able to get out into society again. And I used to surf every day. I hiked every day. I hiked, surfed, and went to a restaurant and worked like 8 hours at the busiest restaurant of that chain in the world every day. And fast forward to, gosh, that was in 2012, 2013. 2014, I became super ill. So it's been 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 8 years that I lost of my life to chronic illness. And I've been able to get back into the world 2 years ago, but at a certain capacity. And because we didn't have these answers, because I didn't have these answers, I got to a certain point of getting sick and just kept going. If I hadn't found medical mediums answers, I would no doubt be in a wheelchair. I'm so lucky. And I'm so lucky that I have the chance and I have the opportunity to get my life back completely. I still have chronic fatigue, and I still suffer with adrenal fatigue. And I know, though, that if I apply the information and if I stick with my healing foods, that I will get better. I've seen the results. And I know this to be true for you too. And for people who are struggling with the hopeless part, the depression part, you just have to know that it gets better. And as you start healing with the fruits and the vegetables, it heals your soul simultaneously, and you notice that along the way. I can't express enough what a joy it is to be healing this way and experience life from these healing foods and feel the energy and the vitality they put into my body and my soul and my heart and my spirit. And it has been the most incredible journey for me to be on. And I think that in those times of depression, because depression is so real, and first, I think it's important to know where depression comes from. And depression comes from heavy metals being in the brain, and it also comes from, I'm blanking out, shoot. It can come from a viral infection. Epstein-Barr causes it. But a lot of depression comes from heavy metals. And that's a topic all on its own that I won't get into today because it's a lot to talk about. But I think that it's so important in those moments of when you have depression, like say that you're so sick, like you're bedridden, you can't get out of bed, you can hardly make your meals, you can hardly shower, and it's taking everything that you have to hold on day after day. And let's say that you have been following the healing information for 6 months or you have a really severe case of chronic fatigue and you're not seeing any results, and every day you are suffering. Because that is so real. That is the, unfortunately, everyday reality of someone that is chronically ill. So in those moments when it is really hard, the best advice that I have is to start developing your relationship with God and the angels, and the angel of faith, and the angel of healing, the angel of peace, and all of these amazing angels that will carry you through in the process. And I feel like we can feel so broken in those moments because we're so sick and we're not well yet to even enjoy watching TV because we're so sick, you know? And I understand that so well and so deeply that I just wanted to make this video today to remind you guys to like hang on. And I don't think I'm gonna be able to make a lot of these videos without crying because I was there, you know, and I was in a dark, blacked out room for over a year. And every day when I would wake up, I would wake up, but before I would even like open my eyes, the pain was just there. And I couldn't imagine facing another day living that kind of way where it felt like I couldn't even get my feet off of the bed onto the floor. I couldn't even shower. Like I was worried, like, would I make it through the shower or not? I was so weak. And this is the moments where we really need to hang on. Like, if you're not seeing the results, you have to hang on. And the body has gotten to a place where it has gotten so sick because it didn't have these answers, and it wasn't your fault. But there are answers that can bring you back together and like heal you. And I just think that like, it just like breaks my heart because so many people don't have these answers. And there's so many people out there who are suffering, who really need to know that like, it's gonna get better, and they're gonna get better, and they just have to make it through this extremely difficult time. And that things will change. And it's so scary in those moments because you don't know. You don't have anything to go off of. And that's where your faith is beginning to be built, because you are literally going off blind faith. There's no proof. There's no nothing that's going to tell you that you're going to feel better if you just keep doing this every day. And because you're not seeing the results right away, it can feel so scary, and it can feel like, is this working? But I can tell you that it is, and it does work. And it's way better than any gimmick that a social media trend or a science trend or a fad is trying to sell you. Because when you heal from fruits and vegetables, it changes your life. It restores your honestly, your like human DNA on a cellular level. Like, it is the most amazing thing to experience. And I think that too many people, when they're stuck down there in the trenches, they don't have an outlet. They don't have a resource. And I'm not saying that they don't make it, but I'm just saying like, people need to hear real truth and raw words like this, that it does work. And I know it will work for you. I know this video was deep, and I'm not even sure if it touched on all the things I wanted it to. But I just feel like it's important for people to really know that they can heal and that they can get through those tough moments, because as you keep working through those tough moments with God and the angels, they get easier and easier and better and better. And you are no longer broken. Like, God mends you back together, and the food does. Like, just look at life-changing foods and look at all the amazing benefits of these foods that you're eating every day does to your body. You can't help but be refortified from this amazing things that are put into your body. And the most amazing thing is that as you heal, one, you're restored in your brokenness. That's the first thing that's healed, right? Two is that you become this amazing person. You learn to appreciate yourself. You have so much to offer people. Like, you you build up so much on the inside that it's truly amazing that nothing else in your life that you've done could get you to the place that of the stamina that you have, had it not been for all of that loss. And when you choose to work with God and work with Him on your problems, He blesses us. And you can't see it now, but you definitely see it once you get to the other side. Oh my gosh, I did a lot of crying in this video. Oh my gosh, this is so new for me, and this honestly feels crazy to me to make a video like this, because you guys don't see this side of me. You only see the side of me on Instagram that's like super like joyful, super confident, super like got it. I feel like got it together, and that's like what I portray. But like, yeah, this is real, and I just felt like I really needed to make these videos because I really want to reach people who are struggling. And yeah, and this is the first one, so I hope you guys liked it. I hope it helped some of you who are struggling, or if you know people who are really struggling in their illness, please tell them about this video and let them know that they're not alone. And we'll see how these go. Thanks so much for watching.